We all know that morning routines can really impact the rest of our day and how it goes. If we start our morning right, the rest of the day is more likely to go right. Or at least if you start your morning not feeling stressed and burnt out and worked up, then you're going to start your day with a much better mindset. So here's how to start your day the wrong way. So that dreaded alarm goes off just when you're in the deepest sleep, having the best dream ever. And of course, the first thing you do is hit the snooze button and grab yourself a few extra minutes sleep. And then it goes off again. Maybe you hit the snooze again, and really resist the whole getting up process. But finally, you wake up, and the first thing you do then is reach for your phone because, of course, it's right next to you. It's there on your bedside table. So you reach over, you grab your phone, and you start scrolling. Maybe you'll do something like check your emails and start thinking about work straight away. Maybe you'll check your WhatsApp and start responding instantly to any demands from your family or friends, or maybe it's the school WhatsApp group asking about, has anyone seen so and so's jumper? Or maybe you'll go on something like TikTok and Instagram and start scrolling. Maybe you'll start by looking at the news and seeing what's happened overnight while you've been asleep. And before you know it, you have spent more time than you have in bed scrolling on your phone. So you see the time, you dash out of bed, you're rushing and rushing, you've got so much to do before you get out the house or get the kids to school or whatever else you have to do in the morning, and your whole morning is chaotic and stressful. It doesn't sound great, does it? And yet so many people do that every single day. Let me know in the comments below, a little bit of an honesty comments box. Is that you? Do you start your day picking up your phone and having a scroll? So if we look at some of the things you're doing when you scroll and the things you're looking at, so let's go with emails. The first thing you do is you're switching your brain into work mode before it even needs to be in work mode. You're already stressing about emails that you've had sent through, things you need to do that day at work, and so on. So you're instantly in that work mode, thinking about work, stressing about work, worrying about work. Or if you're going straight on the news, you're instantly filling your head with all the negativity that comes with news. Because let's face it, it's very rare there's any good news. So you're instantly starting your day feeling negative and of all the awful things that are happening in the world around you that you have no control over. Or you're starting your day scrolling on social media, and some of that may well be negative too. Yes, you might see some positive stuff on there as well, but obviously with social media, one of the biggest things is it's draining your time. And it's very hard to take that point where you go, up, I've seen enough, I'm going to get up now. Because there's the endless scroll, it never ends. There's no end point in mind. So, how do we start our day better? How do we avoid starting our day by reaching for our phone and either looking at things that are going to leave us feeling negative or starting our day feeling stressed and worried about work? How do we avoid that so we can start our day in a much better way? So, first of all, we need to address what the common denominator is here. It's your phone. So the first and most obvious thing to suggest is to not look at your phone in the morning. Now, that's easier said than done because we all are habitual creatures as humans. We all like to do the same thing on repeat, day in, day out. And so it's not as simple a case as saying, just don't look at your phone then. Just get out of bed when you wake up and don't look at your phone, because it is much harder to do than that. So instead, we need to add some friction in place to stop you looking at your phone. And the first point of friction I would recommend is keeping it out of reach. If you want, you can still have it in the bedroom. If you're using it as your alarm clock, as so many people do, keep it in the bedroom, but not where you can reach it from your bed. Somewhere where you have to physically get up out of bed and go to it. And that's really useful when it's your alarm, because then you're out of bed. You're less likely to hit the snooze button. You're out of bed. You can jump in the shower, get on with your day, and so on. And it also means that it's not just there to easily go, oh, I don't feel like getting up yet. It's so nice and warm in here. Let's just reach for my phone. It's just there. I don't need to move to get it. It stops that problem. You would physically need to go and get your phone to then get back in bed to scroll on your phone. So that really, really does help to start to create some friction between you and the issue, so making sure that you've put that friction in place by keeping it out of reach. Alternatively, of course, you could keep it completely out of the bedroom. You could put it in another room overnight so it's not there enticing you. Maybe keep it downstairs, or if you worry that someone might need to contact you in the night, maybe in your, just outside your bedroom so you can still hear it if it rings or anything like that. But keeping it out of reach is a really good way of creating that friction, because I don't know about you, but once I'm out of bed, I've made that jump, I've got out of bed, it's time to just crack on with my day. So definitely consider keeping it out of reach. Another action you can take to cause that friction on your phone is set screen time limits. So if, for example, your alarm goes off at 6 a.m., let's say, set it on your phone so you can't access any of the apps you typically go on until 7 a.m. So that first hour of your day, you can't actually go on those apps. Now, of course, screen time can be overridden, but again, it just puts that point of friction. You go and try to open TikTok and it pops up that, there's a limit in place until 7 a.m. And do you want to override that? So even just that point of it saying to you, you're going to have to choose to override this, is likely to create that friction to make you go, actually, yeah, let's just crack on and I'll come back to it later. So I would definitely recommend setting your screen time limits to be at least an hour after you wake, probably more. In fact, it's worthwhile if you've got, for example, to get kids to school, that kind of thing, setting it until all of that has happened, so that you are not tempted to then just go downstairs, make a coffee and do it at the kitchen table instead of in bed. But certainly setting screen time limits really does help with this as well. The other thing I'd recommend is replacing it with something that you feel like would help start your day better. So for example, I get up and out and go to the gym in the morning because I have to do it then. If I don't do it then, it won't happen, because I know by the evening, I'm a morning person. The evening for me is more like relaxation and downtime, not going and get sweaty and working out in the gym time. But my husband leaves for work really, really early, so I have to get up and out to the gym. I haven't got time to look at my phone because I've got to get to the gym, get my workout in and get back before he leaves for work, so that I'm home for the kids. So for me, is my best time of the day, just that hour in the gym, doing a workout, listening to a podcast, not starting the day scrolling on my phone. And I really enjoy it. For you, it might not be the gym. For you, it might be something like meditation, going for a walk. Maybe it's a case of doing a few jobs around the house to start the day, so that your day's starting with things sorted, washing hung out, whatever it might be. It might be that you just want to start your day with a nice peaceful coffee before the rest of the house wakes up. Or it might be that you have a certain hobby that you like to do, like maybe knitting or crochet, or maybe you like to journal. Think about what I could do instead of looking at my phone in the morning, and make sure it's something that you enjoy, not something that's going to be torturous for you. So think about all the activities you love doing, and then think, what activity could I pick in the morning to replace scrolling on my phone? Because once you've done that a few days, you'll realize, actually, this is so much nicer and more enjoyable than lying in bed, scrolling on my phone, and then not having enough time in the morning and it being chaotic and frantic and starting my day feeling negative. Think about what you could replace that with. And this is really important, because if we don't replace it, we don't fill the gap. And so we go back to what the thing is that's made that gap. So replace it with something else that's actually going to start your day in a really good way. And I also find challenges work really, really well for me, and rewards. So set yourself a challenge. Maybe start with a week. For a whole week, I'm not going to look at my phone until X time. And if I do that for the full 7 days, I'm going to reward myself with, and pick a lovely reward that is personal to you, something that you enjoy. It could be a slice of cake, it could be a massage, it could be anything that you think, if I do that, I'm going to reward myself with this thing. So set yourself a challenge and a reward for meeting that challenge. As I say, start small. Don't think, I'm going to do 3 months of not looking at my phone in the morning, and at the end of those 3 months, I'm going to reward myself with, because it's just too far away in the distance. Start with a small amount of time, then build it up, and build up the rewards too. So maybe if I do a week, I'm going to treat myself to that slice of cake. If I do a month, I'm going to treat myself to a facial. If I do 3 months, I'm going to treat myself to those shoes or that handbag or whatever is your thing. And that really works to kind of drive that behavior change as well. And eventually you won't need the rewards, because it's a bit like a dog, isn't it? When you tell it to sit, it just sits because it's learned from rewards, but now it just does it. It just knows that the response to the command sit is to sit down. And you will be in the same position. Not that anyone will be saying to you, don't look at your phone this morning, but you will have broken that habit by rewarding yourself, setting yourself the goal and rewarding yourself as a result. And finally, there are going to be days when you slip up. As with any habits, it is easy to go back into that habit very quickly. And the longer that carries on for, the harder it is to break the habit again. So you might have the odd day where, oh, yes, you've made the step to keep your phone out of reach and it's the other side of the room. Actually, you're really tired. So you go and grab your phone. You think, I'll just get back in bed for a little bit, just 5 minutes. And before you know it, you're back in that habit again. So if you slip up, don't guilt yourself, don't shame yourself, don't worry about it, because that is, again, human nature. We all slip up, we all move back to bad habits. So instead, just go, oh, well, I did that. Let's move on from it. Tomorrow is another day. And again, go back to that kind of challenge and reward system where you go, right, tell you what, from tomorrow, then I'm going to do 7 days, 7 full days straight, and I'm not going to look at my phone. And at the end of those 7 days, here's my reward. And just get back into it again. Don't worry if you slip up. It doesn't mean that's it now. I might as well just start the habit again. I may as well just start every morning scrolling on my phone, because you can very quickly break that habit again too. So I hope that has been interesting and useful to you, and hopefully has inspired you to start your morning not scrolling on your phone, doing something that is going to bring you joy, productivity, and happiness into your life, and that starts your day the right way. And if you would like to use your phone less, then I do have a short course that helps with this. It is both in video and ebook format. You get both of those when you sign up for the course. I'll pop the details below, and it will definitely help you reduce your phone use and live a more fulfilling and happy life. And I'll see you again in a future video. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when those are being released, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.